Next verse. The self believes that the world is real. But this empirical world is unreal. Meaning this tangible, testable, solid world is actually unreal. And he's supporting this by saying, as it disappears during deep sleep. Meaning you don't concern yourself with it during deep sleep. The three worlds of waking, dreaming, and dreamless sleep are ephemeral appearances. The real self, awareness, underlies and therefore transcends the three states of waking, dreaming, and deep sleep. This is a common Hindu concept that comes up a lot, this waking, dreaming, and dreamless sleep. So, you don't actually, your sense of self, your awareness is the only thing that's left during deep sleep. You don't believe that you are this person. You don't care about what you have going on. Even a loving mother forgets her baby exists during deep sleep. This is where the empirical world, a scientist would say, you are not conscious during deep sleep, but you're still aware. You still have activity there. You're still aware that you went into deep sleep. So I heard this example, and this example is great. Imagine a train station, and there's a conductor at the train station. And there are two types of trains that come through this station. There is the commuter train, a passenger train, where everybody loads up and comes and goes for work, and there's a lot of activity. There's a freight train where there aren't a lot of people, but a lot of inanimate objects. Those are the two types of trains. And there's a conductor on this train. Or the conductor on the platform, I should say. So imagine this train station, and there's this conductor or employee standing on the platform. And the commuter train comes by. And it's filled with people in their suits and their briefcases, and they're extremely active, and they all board on this train, and then a bunch of people get off, and it's really active, and it's rush hour, and then the train pulls away, and there's nothing. Then imagine next comes the freight train, and the freight train it's carrying coal or gas or inanimate objects. It's kind of peaceful, but there's still there's an engineer on that train, and there's still a couple guys who work on that train. It pulls in, it stops, they get off, go to the bathroom, get back on the train, and go. Now, in this analogy, if you will, awareness is this employee standing on the platform of the train, watching these two trains go by. The active commuter train is the waking state. This not so active, but there's still stuff going on, freight train is the dream state. And in between those trains are nothing. There are no trains in between those trains. The commuter train leaves, there's a bunch of nothing. There is no train. Freight train comes in, then pulls away, and there's nothing. There is no train. This nothing, this concept of no train on the empty tracks is deep sleep. Now, all the while, there is still this employee watching it. He is the awareness. The awareness sees the waking state come and go. The awareness sees the dreams come and go. And the awareness is also aware of the lack of any activity. The deep sleep. So that's hopefully that makes sense after that analogy. That's what he's getting at here in this verse. When awareness is realized to be the underlying reality between all states, waking, dreaming, and even unconscious, the world of objects are realized to be merely reflections of awareness. So this is where it gets pretty confusing, but it's still pretty profound once you understand it. when you reach the point where you realize that things don't exist, existence is taking the form of these things. You are not something that is aware of an object in front of you. There is awareness in general creating the notion of an object in front of you and you as somebody who is aware of that object in front of you. When they say merely reflections of awareness, that's what they mean. You have this awareness, and the reflections of awareness are this concept of a direct object of the awareness and something that is aware of that a direct object of the awareness. The underlying reality really is just awareness. So when I'm looking at this tablet, the me, I'm seeing this tablet. There really is just seeing. There's only an act of seeing. Seeing is all that's going on here. The tablet and the me that's seeing is all part of seeing. And they call them reflections because to an ancient Hindu, this feels like when you're looking in a mirror and it reflects back the reality, but the mirror itself is not the real you, right? You can't scratch the mirror and all of a sudden have a scratch on your face, right? It's just a reflection of what's standing in front of it. That's why they like to use the word reflection here. Next two verses together. The qualities of water, such as wetness, fluidity, coldness, sweetness, wave, foam, are inherent in water and are not separate from water except as conceptual names and forms. That makes sense when you think of it. So also being, consciousness, peace, and bliss, which are the natural characteristics of awareness, appear to be inherent in the so-called separate selves that reside in the waking and dream states. From the relative standpoint, wetness, foaminess, waves, fluidity, coldness, sweetness appear as separate qualities of water. So too do individual I selves and objects appear to be separate qualities of awareness. So does this make sense? Let's just go with two of them. Wetness and coldness, let's say, appear to be separate qualities of water, but in reality, these are just concepts. It's just water. We have assigned these names and qualities to help describe water. Wetness, we say it's wet, it's cold because we're trying to describe water. But really, wetness and coldness are not separate qualities of water. There's just water. It's what we have created to help try to describe water. It's just water. So, in the same way, it's just awareness. We are trying to describe, I am aware. To try to describe awareness, we say, I am aware, and I am aware of something. To describe seeing, in order to describe seeing, I have to say, seeing. There's an eye that sees the tablet. Me as the seer and the tablet as the seen are not separate qualities of seeing. There is just seeing. But in order to make sense of seeing, we create the seer and the seen. Make sense? All right.